Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bebe Means Business Show. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for being here again today. You are extremely welcome. I'm so glad that you found the time in your busy schedules to join us once again today. I'm your host, Bebe Clement. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, I gotta ask you, where have you been? Where have you been? This is the show where you get every bit of information that you need in relation to business and entrepreneurship, how to grow and build your wealth, and to become financially free, and to leave a financial legacy, not even for just one generation, but for generations to come. So thanks again for coming to the Bebe Means Business Show. It's going to be a really good show. Really, really good show. I've got some dope guests on the show for you today, and you're really going to enjoy it. Okay, so as I always do, I just want to very, very quickly run through what we did last week. Last week also was an excellent show. For those of you who weren't able to join us, we were talking about wealth creation lessons from the Jewish community. Wealth creation lessons from the Jewish community. As you know, the Jews have got this whole financial freedom thing. They've got it down to a fine art. And so there's loads of things that we can learn from them. Lots of things in their practices that they do, their behavior, what they know about money, that we in our community, in other communities, can adapt and adopt to make sure that we become financially free as well. And so we talked through some of those wealth creation lessons from the Jewish community. Part 2, that's the second show that we ran on that. And if you want to see that episode, and indeed past episodes, again, for those of you who don't know, there is a YouTube channel called Bebe Means Business, and we post all the past episodes on there, so you can have an opportunity to go over them. I know that not everybody can join us during this time. You're working, you're doing your business, but if you want to, sit down and take the time to get all the juice you can out of these programs, then by all means visit the Bebe Means Business YouTube channel. And when you do visit, please don't just visit, but like and subscribe and let other people know, so that we can share this information and we can all do better. Okay, now I wanted to talk about the topic I'm going to talk about today, because it is becoming a lot clearer that the day of one person doing everything by themselves is over. That day is gone. And if you want to do better and you want to go faster in business, you must build proper and sustainable networks. You must. There is no way around this, ladies and gentlemen. You must build proper and sustainable networks. So I want to back up a little bit first of all, and then just talk about, so what exactly is a networking group? What does a networking group do? And a networking group is an alliance of different people bound by a common interest, in this case, business and entrepreneurship, with the aim of acquiring a strategic competitive advantage. So I'm going to say that again so that you can manage your expectations. Join a networking group, exactly what you're coming into, why you're coming into it, and what your role is, because it's not just all take. You have a role to play as well. So a networking group is an alliance of different people who are bound by the common interest of business and entrepreneurship with the aim of acquiring a strategic competitive advantage. All right? So clearly this is a good thing for us. You know, for those of us who are in business, this is a good thing for us. So if it is such a good thing and indeed so vital for our business growth, then why are so few of us doing it? Why? I was looking at some research done by Barclays Bank a little while ago, and they surveyed black-owned businesses in the UK, and they found that only 14% of black-owned business owners or entrepreneurs belong to a networking group. Only 14%. But that 89% of those that were found, that those that were members of a networking group, found them to be quite or very supportive and vital for their business. So clearly this is something we need. So why are we not doing it? So I found this whole topic quite interesting. And I thought it would be a good idea if I could get some people who can help us with this to come onto the show and we can talk about this together. So I've invited a couple of people on the show. One of them is having technical issues joining us, so just bear with us. One of them is called Dylan, and she's having technical issues, but she's going to join us on the show. But just to let you know that today's topic is how to use a networking group to grow your business or as a business growth tool. How to use a networking group as a business growth tool or to grow your business. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome to the show Mr. Mark Dalgetty. Is Mark there, please? Hello, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear us. Okay, perfect. Mark is joining us all the way from Ghana. So we're grateful that the network is good today, because sometimes it's not so good. So Mark, you are very, very welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. All right, so Mark, if you would be very kind and just let us know a little bit about yourself. Just introduce yourself, what you do, what kind of business that you run, and introduce your networking group. That would be great.
Don't do that now. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Just as we were about to.
We can hear you, Mark.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Mark. We can hear you.
Hello.
All right. While Mark gets that sorted out.
Hello.
Unfortunately, he doesn't think we can hear him, but we can.
Oh boy. Hello. Yes. Hello, Bebe.
Hi, Mark. We can hear you. Please go on.
Hello,
all right. While Mark is sorting that out, I'm going to talk a little bit about my networking group, because I'm also the founder of a networking group. And my networking group is called Black Businesses UK.
Hello.
And Black Businesses UK is one of the largest networking groups
are you hearing me?
In the UK. All right. Mark, yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, Bebe. Yeah,
right,
I've got you now. Hello.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Your business.
Yeah, well, my name is Mark. I lost you for a bit briefly there, actually.
Okay. No, we can hear you perfectly. Go on.
Okay. Well, as I say, my name is Mark Dalgetty, and my core business is obviously a manufacturing of herbal teas, which we supply across the UK and various other countries, exported to the US, and now we develop in the West African leg. We sell our teas. We've been in business for 25 years. We supply all the top 3 supermarkets in the UK, Sainsbury's, Tesco, Asda, and about 5,000 independent shops across the UK that sells African and Caribbean foods, or ethnic foods in general. Obviously, the show has a lot to do with networking, and I'm also the founder of a networking group called Black Entrepreneurs International, along with our co-founder Caroline Mimi, who is one of my good friends from time back. She was actually half Nigerian, half Guyanese. So, my origin is from Guyana. And the passion really to start a network group was a lot to do with the fact that it's really just a non-for-profit, a charitable thing that I got a bit annoyed that I didn't think that the black community was buying enough from other black businesses, and even black businesses were not networking enough within themselves to promote themselves and to promote their products. So I really just on a Sunday just got annoyed and just set up the group and started with some very strict guidelines with regards to trading. The group is purely about trading with one another, and companies are just allowed to sell or purchase or promote a black business or a black product, and nothing else is allowed. I mean, nobody's allowed to say good morning, good afternoon to waste time. You literally could be knocked off of the platform for doing that. But I mean, that was basically, it's just a passion that I felt that was important to us as a community that I could contribute.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Mark. And actually, let me just seize this opportunity to, give honor where honor is due. The amazing progress that you've had and success that you've had with your business. We are very proud of you, Mark. Very, very proud of what you've been able to achieve.
Thank you.
Okay, so your business group is called what? Black Entrepreneurs International, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Black Entrepreneurs International. So any black business in the world, if it's international, is because we're moving right across the world. So as you know, on the platform, we have black businesses that not just in the UK, but in Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, China, around the Caribbean, St. Lucia, Guyana, Jamaica. And it's also about engaging the whole diaspora across, linking the West Indies with Africa, linking the guys in North America with Africa, linking Africa back to the Caribbean, back to the UK. But basically, that's what our networking group is all about.
Okay. Now, I think that what you just said is vital because, the world is now a global village, and never so much so than in relation to business. So that whole compartmentalized mentality has got to go. If you still have that, then you are going to miss out. The world is now a global village, so we need to be networking, not just locally. You need to be networking, not even just internationally. You need to be thinking global. Whatever business you are in, I don't care if you're in some village in Nigeria, or you're in the UK, or you're some township in Guyana. You've got to be thinking global in your business. That's the way to go. I was going to just quickly share about Black Businesses UK, which is a networking group that I founded, I think 2007, 2008, and pretty much under the same kind of sentiment as that which Mark has just shared, basically, that, I was a bit concerned. It's not like today where you have, quite a few choices. At that time, there was hardly nothing for Black people, particularly in the UK, to network amongst themselves. There was nothing. And so the whole aim was to gather a group of like-minded, hard-working people with good business sense and integrity and a desire to succeed in business. And we laid a huge emphasis on integrity because what we discovered that one of the things that has held us back business-wise as a community in the UK is the issue of integrity. And so we laid a strong emphasis on that we were not looking for people who were looking to get rich quick. We were looking for people who had genuine businesses, who wanted to work hard, who wanted to be useful to their community and wanted to grow from there. So we, just like you, we had very, very, very strict guidelines, which we have maintained over the years. But we also started that networking group, and when I say we, it was me and a group of my friends. We were literally sitting in my living room. I sent out the clarion call, and they answered, and we started that networking group. And to the glory of God, we now have about, I think, 8,300 members globally. So we also wanted to assist in establishing and enhancing Black businesses, because a lot of people started Black businesses, but then they fizzled out very quickly. And that was because they didn't have the kind of support. There were not enough people to come alongside them, hold their hand, help them, show them what to do. So we wanted to help establish and enhance Black businesses and provide a knowledge base for black businesses by regularly having professionals give talks in their area of expertise. So again, and we find this even now, even in the day of the internet, where you think that everything is at your fingertips, what we've discovered is that there's actually information overload. So people, still don't know where to go. We've gone from not having enough information for our businesses to having too much information about our businesses, and people still don't know where to go. You'll be amazed, Mark, that, I actually have people call me up and say, Bebe, can you recommend a black networking group because we can't find any? And I'm like, seriously? You can't find any? You can't find any? But clearly there's that information gap. They need to know where to go to get information about finance, how to raise finance. Oh, great. Thank you, Dee. We can see you now. Thank you and welcome to the show. we already told the listeners that you were having technical problems, so they know. So yeah, we started the networking group for that, and we also wanted to bring black businesses to the attention of the wider community, because when I was engaging with other communities and the powers that be, most importantly, in relation to black-owned businesses, they would often tell me, well, we can't see anywhere. We don't know any black businesses. And I was like, are you serious? There are loads of us. But clearly, we were not visible. So we wanted an arena where other communities could connect with us, whether they would know that we are here and we're good to go, we're ready to do business. And so I'm grateful that Black Business UK has done that. Once again, welcome, Dee Lano. Dee, do you want to quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Sweet and how Sweet came to be? Can you hear us, Dee? Okay, not sure she can hear us. Oh, wow. Okay. Can you unmute yourself? Because we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself? All right, she clearly can't hear us, so until she does, then I'm going to keep speaking. Okay, so Mark, can you tell us, in your view, what are the advantages of being a member of a networking group by way of growth potential? What are the advantages?
Let's do this in a few numbers. I'll say the first thing is that being part of a network group could really save you a lot of time in terms of immediately connecting with a service or a product that you need. Yeah, I mean, instead of you probably going, simply Yellow Pages or searching the Google for the whole world to get one product or one service. Ideally, being part of a network group, first of all, it helps you to focus in on where you want to spend your money, and also, hopefully, you would also be utilizing your getting the information you need pretty much at your fingertips immediately. And then also, because you're part of the network group, there would have been some amount of due diligence done on the company, because most people that run a network group normally will try their best to have the best quality companies or people on the network group, and not necessarily rude characters, because most of them also, if they find someone that's a rude character, they tend to throw the person out anyhow. So you would have gotten that service right away from a networking group. I mean, then there's obviously the advantage of meeting like-minded people, because, I mean, you might be looking for something to buy, or you might also be being able to sell what you are selling. So, I mean, it's normally a reciprocal situation with regards to being part of that networking group. It's not about you just trying to buy something, or it's not necessarily about you trying to sell your product, Then there's some network groups that are even more established that sometimes might have situations where that because the person is a member, you might get a small discount, a 5-10% discount or something like that. And then there's always the referral. Right. Yes, then there's also the referral. That, I mean, if you use a service, you could then know that I could recommend it to someone else. And then there's also the fact that if you actually sold your service, the person is more than likely to recommend you again also. So then there's the added advantage or the added value with regards to being part of that networking group, compared to sort of like just Googling a name. You go to a shop somewhere and that the guy doesn't know you, you don't know him, you just pay for a service, and that's the last time you see him, and that's the last time he sees you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would say those are a couple of the things that come to mind right away to me.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. I'm going to mention a couple more, and then please feel free to jump in there. I'm not sure if Dee's with us yet, but if not, I'll just keep going. One of the advantages I think of being a member of a networking group.
Can you hear me now?
It helps you to build your brand quicker.
Hi, baby.
Yeah, we can hear you now. That's fine. Hi, Dee. All right, let me just finish this point, and then you can come in. We hear you now. Can you hear us? Okay, so one of the advantages. Okay, one of the advantages of being a member of a networking group is it helps to build your brand quicker. It helps build your brand quicker. So, for instance, I mean that whole idea of each one reach one, that day is gone. I mean, who's got time for that? I can't be ringing Mark and saying, "Oh, Mark, do you have time in your diary over the next 2 weeks? Can I come and meet you in your office and do my spiel and everything like that?" Who's got time for that? You need to get your brand in front of as many people as possible at a time, and just market yourself shamelessly. That's basically what you need to do. And being a member of a networking group helps you to do that. Just like Mark said, another advantage is it helps you build relationships and expand your contacts. Now, this is really, really important because we are in the day of relationship selling. That's what we're doing now. That's how we do business now. We've moved away from the whole close kind of mentality. That's gone. That's gone. We are now in relationship selling. So if you want to broaden your horizon business-wise, you have to take time to build a relationship with people. And there's no better arena to do that than in a networking group. So that's really important. Also, I actually want to expand upon that because I want to give a couple of tips in relation to how we network and how you use how your business grows by attending a networking event. So the whole concept of relationship selling, I really want you to get that because it's really important. And I'll give an example of how this works or how important it is. I remember I held a networking breakfast for women entrepreneurs last month, I think. And I was watching the delegates or the attendees. And there was a particular lady who approached somebody else. And she introduced herself. And she said to this woman, "What do you do?" And the woman sells wigs, hair products, wigs, weave-on, that kind of thing. And the minute she was asked, "What do you do?" she pounced. she just pounced. She whipped out all these wigs from her bag and started showing this man how they work and how you put them on and everything like that. And I was watching the body language of the woman she was speaking to. The woman was very, very overwhelmed. I could see that. And so later on, I contacted details and I called and I said, "Listen, we don't do business like that no more. You don't just jump on people. What you should have done is speak to her, find out what she does." Because at the end of the things I've learned from networking is people are really not interested in you. They want to talk about them. So I just let them talk. So what she should have done is ask, "What do you do?" Or, "Hi, Dee, what do you do?" And then Dee can say what she does. And while she is speaking, and this is a networking tip, guys, while she is speaking, you should be thinking of ways in which you can make a connection with her. Because people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. So when you attend a networking event, it's your opportunity to get to know a little bit about you. They form a good impression about you, i.e. they like you. And once you have those two ingredients, they learn to trust you and they want to do business with you. So that's what she should have done. Start thinking about what kind of connection can I make with this person. So let's say perhaps a person that says, "Oh, my son, I have 3 kids and my son has just gone off to university." If you have a child who's just gone off to university, that is your connection. So you speak about that. You don't even need to talk about whatever it is that you do in relation to your business. Just build a connection, build a relationship, and then once that foundation is laid, you can then start speaking about your product. So Dee, do you have anything to say in relation to that? Just quickly speak about what you do and about Sweet and what I just spoke. Okay, we're clearly still having problems with Dee. Not sure what's going on there, but...
Hi, Bebe. Thank you so much for having me today. Okay. It's awesome to be here. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let's
So tell us what you do and tell us about Sweet.
I am Dee Lana, author of the book. Author of the book, Get Stuff Done. Okay. And Sweet Women's Network came about with the same ethos that you have with your business and network as well. I felt that there were women that I knew that had talent, they had lots of skills, but they were not coming together and sharing these skills that they had. So I wanted to come together and to form a group where we can work together. We can inspire each other. We can promote each other. And it was important for us to be able to this was for the and before the Facebook. We just started through fun, getting together in the way. I can emphasize more, as you have said, the importance of letting people know who you are, what you do, your product, your service, you offer. Get in touch with you. Good old days was events and handing out your pro cards. And
that's gone.
And people, there's no excuse. All the social networks. Counted today, how many? What? 42 at the last count. 42 what? I know somebody who but we have to know what to do with utilize them.
Yeah.
You can't just be
okay, Dee, sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to stop you a little bit there because for some reason we're having technical issues. We're finding it very, very difficult to hear you. You're fading in and out. So I'm not sure if this is something from your end or the network itself is just
there's some feedback. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to go on a little bit. I want to refer something to Mark. What about,
okay,
you said something about offering discounts on your products and services, that you can get discounts on your products and services. I also encourage the members to offer those discounts as well, because that's a way, it's kind of like a bait, if you know what I mean. It's a way of getting people to buy into whatever it is that you're selling. So I think that's important. Mark, how important do you think it is for you to speak at a networking event?
Oh, I think any opportunity to speak at a networking event is good for anyone, because it gives you a chance to portfolio yourself and your brand, you know, and more engagement to in one go. I mean, present yourself to, I don't know, 50, 100 people, 25 people. You know, I always say there's not all 25 or 100 would necessarily be interested, but even if you get 10%, you know, I mean, 10, that's 10 potentially new prospects for you to close a deal with. You know, so I mean, definitely you don't want to be standing in the corner and not speaking to anyone. One of the things I think you said, I mean, as I said, I'm only now probably going back into a little bit of networking because I'm now in Ghana, moving into new terrain across West Africa here. You know, but you just brought back to mind something that I did about 20 years ago when I was more into the whole networking scenario. Was, I mean, when you meet anyone, it's always good to find out what they're doing and showing some interest in what they're doing first before you go bombasting them with what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? You know,
yes.
Very, very key. You know, to show some interest, and then depending on what they do, it might not be something you're interested in, but show some interest, and then you could mildly see what you're doing. You know, because people could get a bit weary and overwhelmed with you just there shouting at the top of your voice all about me, and not interested in what a word that's to say. So I think that is a very important point that you made. But it just reminded me, even now that I'm moving into Ghana and in Nigeria and all these West Africa, Togo, I was out in Tamale only this weekend. It's so important to remember that one day. I'm very pleased you mentioned that.
Okay, all right guys, just to remind you that this is a live show and it's also an interactive program, so we want to hear from you. We want to hear your views about networking, whether you've had some good experiences, bad experiences with networking, or how being a member of a networking group has improved and grown your business. We want to hear from you, so if you have any questions or any comments about anything that we're discussing on the show today, our Twitter handle is @StarRadioUK. That's @StarRadioUK. UK, or you can text or WhatsApp us on 07539 661 and if you're calling from outside the UK, put the prefix +44 in front of that, 07539 661 or if you want to email us, you can email us at info@Star Radio UK. That's info@Star Radio UK. And if you're joining us via Facebook, just put any of your questions or your comments in the chat, and I will get them, and then we will make the announcements regarding them, and we will, speak about them and have our guests answer your questions. I want to apologize for the technical issues that we're having. Not much we can do about it. Technology's got us by the short and curlies. So when we come back, hopefully we will have sorted out any problems that we have. But we're going to take a break right now. Don't go away, because we've got some more information, and we've got lots of tips for you on how to make the best out of your networking. See you in a moment.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is Bebe Clement. I'm the host of this show, Bebe Means Business. And on this show, we talk about anything and everything to do with business and entrepreneurship. And we give you lots of tips as to how to become financially free. And today I have two dope guests on the show, Mark Dalgetti and Dee Lana. And I apologize for any technical issues that we were having earlier on. Hopefully we've sorted them out. You might not be able to see Mark's handsome face. That's because he's joining us all the way from Ghana, and him putting on his camera might interfere with the connection. So you're just going to have to listen to his sultry voice, guys, for today. Okay, all right. So just before the break, we were talking about some of the advantages of being a member of a networking group. Dee, I want to address a couple of questions to you. One of the things that I encourage people to do when they're going to attend a networking event is to ask the organizers for the delegate list or the attendee list. Do you hand that out in suites? Do you hand that out? And if so, what's the advantages of having that?
It's a brilliant idea. Thank you very much for that. It's a brilliant idea to have the attendee list beforehand, so you know exactly who you're going to meet. You know what industry they're in. You have an idea of the sort of caliber of people that you're going to face when you get there. But also, like you said, always be armed, forearmed. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Always go armed to the teeth with your own business networking card. Your business card is like gold. It's like a currency for you when you get there, because you want to hand out these things, but you want to get to know. I know Mark said it very well, that, oh look, we can see Mark's handsome face. He said that people don't just want to hear about me. It's about them. You want to develop some relationship. You want to actually be able to hear what they have to do, what service they have, what product they have. You want to know about them. You want to show them that you're interested in them and develop a relationship from there. Because, for instance, look at the relationship that you and I have. We have developed this relationship over 40 years. We went to secondary school together, and we haven't let go since. Before the days of Facebook, before the days of all the social networking groups, we managed to stay in touch. And it's not just because, oh, she's a lady that I know. It's because we have a genuine interest in each other. We have a commonality that we started when the literary and debating group, and we knew that there was a connection there, and we have never let it go, and we have developed that. And both of us have gone on similar paths in different directions and come back to meet each other in the same place. That is building on a relationship, because it's important to make new relationships, but it's also important to nurture the ones that you already have. Existing relationships are also very important.
Yes, I agree totally. Okay, so that's a tip for you guys. Whenever you're going to go to a networking event, ask the organizers if you can have a look at the delegate list or the attendee list. Not all of them will give them to you, especially this part of the world because of GDPR, but some of them will. Some of them will. So some of them have informed their delegates that they would be passing their details on to third parties, and they don't have a problem doing that. But just like for the reasons that Dee has just highlighted, it's important that you, if you can, have a look at the delegate list. Now, I want to very, very quickly ask, what kind of problems do you have as founders or leaders of networking groups? What kind of problems do you have in dealing with your members or your attendees? And I'm going to share a couple of problems that I have, and then feel free to just jump in there. One is people wanting something for nothing. It just gets my goat. It really does, and it's prevalent in our community. Now, the organisation, the Black Business UK that I run, we have two aspects to the group. So we have a general one that is free; anybody can join. But I also have another one called Black Businesses Executives, and that's a paid membership within Black businesses. So those who are just that bit more serious about their business, who want a little bit more help, who you know, you're just more serious about their business, they have a paid membership. So again, because I don't know why we want everything for free, but it is clearly an issue for me. And you know, I read some interesting research recently. They were saying, you know, they have all these indicators as to what determines whether a group of people are wealthy or whether they're poor or they're considered poor by economists or that kind of thing. They've now added to, as an indicator as to whether a particular group of people will be poor, is people who want things for free. The more that group of people want things for free, the more they're likely to be poor. And I found that so interesting, but sadly quite true in my community. Mark, do you want to speak to that? What other issues do you have as being an organizer of a networking group?
I think one of the things I find is people following the rules. You know, you set up a networking group focused on a particular agenda, and then there's always folks who are coming on trying to speak about anything apart from what is the core agenda of the organization. You know, post some photo with them and their girlfriend, I don't know, something silly, you know what I mean? And these are the same guys that are not telling you what their business is or trying to sell their products, you know? So I find that not necessarily just our platform, but sometimes I find there's a lot of platforms that they promote something that is supposed to be a core agenda, and then it's everything, you know, suddenly somebody would say, oh, you know what's happened to the war of Ukraine, and then you got 200 communications, and it's nothing to do with selling any of their products. You know?
Yeah. Yes.
Dee, what problems do you have? Yeah, we can hear you, Mark.
Oh my goodness. Problems with group? How long have you got? How long is this show? I mean, look, it's about, I would call them ghost members. They just put their name down and they never show up. They never show up. I was looking on Facebook today, and one of my friends on Facebook, Susie, she put out an announcement. I'll tell you really quickly. I'll go through the list. She's going that, if you're a member, please use one of these icons. They've got different colors, and let us know who you are so we know what to do. Are you A, an active group member? B, I'm just here to support a fellow small business? C, I love seeing everything. I don't comment much, but I'm here. And A, it's like, I'm here to shop. Or these group, and I'm just still exploring. I'm new to this group and I'm just exploring. You get a lot of people like that who just join groups. They don't comment. They don't interact. They don't contribute, and you just wonder, why are you here? I mean, if this group is not for you, you can't remove yourself. You have the option to do so. You don't have to be a member of the group if it's not for you. And you know, just signing your name up doesn't mean that you're part of the group. I mean, why are we going to waste our time if it's not valuable to ourselves or contributory to the whole of the group? So I feel what you're saying. People who just don't want to contribute, they want things for free, and I mean, even in my travel group, one of my groups is travel group. We had to take out only the 6 members out of how many? 300. There was only 6 people turning up whenever there was a call to action. So we took those 6 members out and formed a separate group. And these are the committed people that we did.
Yeah. So guys, if you are a member of a networking group, these are some of the things that we as organizers or founders find a bit difficult to deal with. And we're not trying to moan. We genuinely want to serve you. And you've got to help us to serve you. So if there's a lack of commitment, you're not going to get much out of it. If you are, putting irrelevant stuff on the platform, you're not going to get much out of it. So I would ask that you be committed to what you signed up to doing so that we can serve you better, because that's what we're there for. That's why we start these networking groups, so that we can serve you. We have no other, believe me, they're so time consuming, so I have no other agenda but to serve people with this group. So help us to help you. Okay, so there's something I wanted to mention. Mark, you actually spoke about it earlier on in passing, but actually it's quite important. Now, one of the things that I do, I'm a visiting lecturer at Bebe Business School. Bebe Business School is a business school for City University of London, and I teach professional business skills at the University of London. And one of the modules is networking. So even the academic world have come to terms, they come to the understanding that networking is a skill that is imperative that you have if you're going to be successful in business. This is not just, it's not as, for me, I don't think it can now be considered an option or it's no longer an option. It's something you have to do and something you have to learn to do well. But there is a recognition that it is a skill. It is a skill, and like every skill, it can be improved, it can be enhanced. Now, this is really important for somebody like me, and I know people laugh when I say this, but I'm actually very shy and very reserved. I know I speak a lot and all that, I'm on these kind of platforms, but outside of these platforms, I'm very shy, and I'm particularly bad in social settings, such as networking events. I'm particularly bad at those. So, for people like me, who are socially awkward, what can networking organizers do to make us feel a bit more comfortable? Mark, do you want to go first?
What people can do with a shy person? I can remember many years ago, there's something called speed networking, where they literally force people to introduce themselves to one another. Or sometimes I've had situations where they've had a list of names that just automatically started pairing people just to see, and then move around with tags on your name. That's another thing. You could have tags on your, say what you're doing, so that sometimes allow people to approach you. So, I mean, if there's a networking event and you will say, okay, maybe, radio presenter or whatever it is, and then somebody will come and say, oh, hi, what radio station do you work on, or what do you do? And that gives, because you are always afraid to approach somebody, but then at least if somebody approaches you, that gives you a chance to get engaged, But those are some of the things I remember many years ago. I don't know if it's still tried.
No, I think that those are really good tips. Dee, what can you do for someone like me?
I think I love what Mark said, absolutely, with the name tags and just getting to know you. You could say D and author, and then there's what sort of book. But also, it's great if they have like an icebreaker at the beginning, like some sort of sentence where everybody feels that they can relate to, and everyone can give their own opinion, and everyone feels like, oh, I know a bit about this subject. Oh yeah, I can relate to that, and then and everyone's giggling and laughing, and then they're relaxed, and then you just get in, and it's a nice atmosphere to start with.
Yeah. I think those things are really important because it's not everybody that has the tools to network. Right. They don't all have the tools. Another thing that you can do, one of the things that we do at my event is a thing called a minute to win it, where in line with what you just said, Dee. Not everybody, but those who are willing to do it, you have 1 minute to sell yourself, and you can't go past that minute. We'll stop you after a minute, but it helps them also be able to sell themselves in a very short period of time. Because you know how we are. We have a multiple of things going on. So I'm a lawyer, but I also sell Mary Kay, and I do this and I do that. And we tend to want to throw everything out there, which is counterproductive. But if you have only 1 minute, then you really have to concentrate the mind on what you want to speak about. So that helps them as well. But also another thing you can do is your team members, the guys that are working with you as organizers, have them look out for people like me that look a bit lost, that are hiding behind their glass in the corner, that kind of thing, to actually approach them and, you know, engage them in conversation. And if you've had a look at the delegate list prior, you can then actually pair people up. So I could say, I know that Mark does this and Dee does that. I can actually say, oh, Mark, hi. Have you met Dee? Dee does this. You guys might want to have a conversation. That helps because usually it's actually just that initial opening conversation that's difficult for people. Once they actually connect, they're off and they're good. But that initial ice breaking is sometimes a problem. So these are some of the things that we can do. All right, guys. We're going to come back to that, but we have someone joining us who, since today we're talking about networking, she has a networking event coming up, and I wanted her to quickly talk about that networking event, because this is, if you're based in the UK and you're a black business owner, this is an event I think you should go to. So, Sally, are you with us? Is Sally still here? Oh, okay. I don't know what's happened to Sally, but hopefully she'll be back and she'll promote that in a little while. Okay, so let's continue with what we were doing. So, yeah, so...
Hello, Bebe. Hi, Bebe, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Hey!
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Sally, hi. We just introduced you. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us about the event that you're having on Saturday? Let's hear about that.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Clement Bombara. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a nursery manager. I'm a trainer. I work in early years. So we are the organizer of this event on the 25th of June. And it's happening in St. Mary Great Hall, 305 Camberwell Road, SE50TF. This event is about businesses coming together to showcase their product and their services. So currently we have nearly, I think, 30 business registered. So we're talking about health and beauty, clothing, food, services, real estate people coming together. So it's going to be a great platform for everybody, businesses, business owner to come and then network, exchange. We can discuss different issues affecting black industry in the UK. Bebe Clement is going to be with us to tell us how to start a small business. Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we're inviting all the public, all the members of the public to come. Please come. There will be a lot of businesses to come across, to meet, to network. Thank you, Bebe, for offering me this platform. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Sally, for joining us. Just to go over that again, you can see the flyer on there. There's a business fair on Saturday the 25th of June, which is this Saturday, and it's at St. Mary's Great Hall, which is in Camberwell. For those of you who live in the UK, it's in South London. Look, you need to get there. I've seen the previews. I've listened to some of the people who are going to be in attendance. I've been on one of the shows during the week that promoted this event. You don't want to miss this. So by all means, get yourself down there. It will be worth your while. Thank you, Sally, for joining us today.
Thank you, Bebe. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. I want to quickly go over some of the things that are a no-no, absolute no-no when you're at a networking event. Some of the things that you don't want to do that can mess up your business and your brand. I'm going to kick off, and then you can jump in, guys. You know what they say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So when you go to a networking event, you want to make sure that you're dressed nicely. You don't have to look like $1 million, but you do have to look like you made an effort. So I would very much discourage trainers, jeans, stuff like that. Dee, what's your thoughts on dressing?
Yes, absolutely. I agree. You don't have to look $1 million, but I definitely look like you had a thought process going on, and you thought about putting together your wardrobe. You want people to you want to look approachable. You want to look smart, casual smart. Again, like you said, no trainers. You don't want to come up in your jeans and trainers and your dirty t-shirt. But you obviously a smart for ladies, a smart skirt suit or dress trouser suit would be great. And mostly men do come in their suits. They do come in suits and shirt and tie. And you just want to look smart. You even in yourself, it makes you feel good about yourself, in able to present yourself and present your goods or your service, your product or what you do. You want to look good, feel good, and you want the person you're talking to also feel good about you and relax and think that, wow, you mean if I buy into your product or service, I can look like you?
Mark, any thoughts about dressing at a networking event?
Well, part of dressing, I would just like to add on, apart from the fact of looking smart, is make sure you smell good. Because
honestly,
not smelling smart.
Absolutely.
Just have to make sure that you are, hygienically attired. You know what I mean to say? Because I mean to think where a guy might have on a suit, but his smell or his teeth is a total different situation. You can't do those things.
You want to be memorable, but you want to be memorable for the right reasons.
For the right reasons. Thank God for Zooming and Skyping. At least nobody knows.
Absolutely.
All right. Another thing that is not. It's just not happening anymore. And I think, Dee, you mentioned this, is we have this misconception about quantity versus quality. We think that we have to work the whole room. We have to chuck as many business cards as we can at as many people as possible. And that's not necessarily so, because most of them, to be honest, go in the dustbin. So can you speak to quality over quantity for me, Dee?
Yes. It's really important that you come across as genuine. They really want to see that you have something that they need, that is valuable to them. That you're looking like you actually care about their welfare. You care about their growth, their improvement, their prosperity. You actually give some interest in what they do and how they can improve, and how you might know someone who knows someone that might be interested in what they're doing, and how they can collaborate and how they can come together and grow together. So they really want you to show that you're interested in them. So it's not about how many people around the room I can get. It's about having some quality conversations with as many like-minded people as possible.
I think that phrase that you used is excellent. Quality conversations. That's what it's about. Quality conversations. And if it's only two people that I connect with, that's perfect. I'd rather have two promising or potential leads than a room full of people who are never going to give me another thought. So that's really important.
That's right.
Another tip, another thing is, I think we've mentioned this already. It's not about you. It's not about you. So I really don't want you to talk my ear off about 10 million things that you can do and your products can do. I'm really not that interested, to be honest. So it's not about you. That's really, really important. Another tip is ask open-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions. You get to learn a lot about people when you do that, and you have greater potential to make a connection with them. So ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are questions that don't end with yes, no. they lead somewhere, they lead to a conversation.
Yeah, you could just ask, what do you do for a living?
Yes, and that opens up a whole...
Simple, that opens it,
yeah. Cool. Body language, let's talk about body language. How important is that in networking, Mark?
Yes, I think it's always good to be looking relaxed. Also, try to have a smile on your face and not a frown on your face. Try not to look too over important, then you come across pompous. Guys walk around as though they're the president of the country sometimes, and a lot. just try to be calm and cool and friendly. And then you don't want to be too friendly and to come across as though you're a comedian. Then that's a different scenario. So it's just that right medium to hit it.
True.
Yeah. True.
Absolutely. I cannot agree more. It's about the perception. Like Bebe said earlier, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So you don't want to you want to be friendly. You want to be open. You want to be relaxed, because people can sense when you're tense, when you're not sure about yourself or sure about what you're doing. But when you're relaxed, when you're talking calmly and you can bring them into the conversation, then they want to learn more. They want to hear more. They want to hear more about what you've got to offer, what you're saying, but also they want to open up too and also tell you what they do. So, and again, like Mark said, you want to be friendly and smiley, having a friendly smile, but not be too much of a comedian. That will come later when you know each other a bit better. So true. Briefly revisiting the issue of clothing, I also think that you don't want to be wearing anything that draws away from whatever it is that you're saying. So when I'm speaking to somebody at a networking event, I want him to be listening to what I'm saying, not my low-cut brows or my slip right up to my thigh. So again, these kind of things are actually quite important. Even the level of how serious people take you is also connected to the way you're dressed as well. All right, I want to quickly talk about post-networking. So you've been to a networking event, it was good, you made some good connections. What do you do thereafter? Because people often say to me, oh, this networking thing, it doesn't work for me. I go to lots of events and I never get any clients. And I'm amazed when people say that. Clearly, you're not doing it right. So what do you do after the networking event that helps? I'm going to kick off and then you can jump in there. One of the first things that you must make sure you do is you follow up leads. There is nothing more annoying than somebody taking my business card and saying, I'll call you, and I never hear from them for the next 6 months or until I bump into them at another event. That is so annoying. I think it's so disrespectful. What are your thoughts on that, Dee? Absolutely. Like you said, I was going to say, you got to follow up leads. Give it a day or two. Generally, these events take place on Saturdays. So by Monday, Tuesday, I think at the latest, try and get those cards out. Because what I do personally is all the cards that I collect at any event, I sit down and I write everybody's name out. I know that it's old-fashioned, but I'm an old-fashioned girl. I get my pen and paper, I write their name, their contact number, and I call each and every one. If I can't get hold of you, I leave a message. If you've got an email, I'll send you an email. If I can connect on WhatsApp, whatever form of contact I can do, I make sure I make some contact, because the last thing I want to do is collect a business card from you and never use it. Because what's the point of having it in your hand if you never take action and use it? You must always act on the next step from collection. Then you make contact. You show them that you're interested. You show them that you're actually serious about your business and getting to know their business even more. That's the next step. So very important, follow up leads.
Yeah. And again, remembering that we are in the age of relationship selling. The whole process is pretty much like a guy chasing a girl. So you don't want to come on too strong. I appreciate what you said about you call them. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I tend to just send them an email. And then, it's, again, think of it like a guy chasing a girl. So when the guy meets you, he doesn't automatically say, he doesn't the next day say, I want to take you to meet my mother. I mean, you're going to freak out. Even if you like him, you're going to freak out. So it's the gentle approach. So my email might just say, oh, hi, Dee. I met you at this event. We had a really good conversation. I enjoyed it. I hope you're good. Just wanted to reach out. If you have a minute, have a look at my website. If there are any services that I can help you with, don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not selling them anything. I'm not, trying to. No. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm just making connection, just following up a lead. That then doesn't put them under any kind of pressure. And then if they want to, inevitably they will at least acknowledge your email or your call. They do that. They will acknowledge it. And then maybe give it a few weeks, a couple of weeks, and then make contact again. Oh, hi, I'm actually going to be in your neck of the woods next week. Are you free for a coffee or something like that? But you don't go from 0 to 60 just like that and then wonder why they're not giving you business. Because they're overwhelmed. That's why they're not giving you business. Mark, do you have any thoughts on that?
Sorry, I was going to say, Bebe, can I quickly add? Even in the phone call, all you're saying is, it's just a hi. It was lovely speaking to you on Saturday, and I'm just calling to say hi.
Yeah, that's it. Mark, anything on that?
Well, I would tend to do something similar-ish to what BB's mentioned, more like an email, or I tend to do WhatsApp, which is just, hi, good morning, hope all is well, you enjoyed the evening, and keep it very open, I mean, and just, just leave it open for them to get back to you. I wouldn't tend to do the phone call bit, because, I mean, sometimes phone calls these days tend to be a bit more intrusive, I think, because then, I mean, you just met them, but then depending on the rapport you have with the person, then you would know whether it's okay to actually have a phone call, I mean, because you might have actually said, I'll give you a call. They said, yeah, must give me a call. Then you realize that their communication might be a phone call as such, whereby some people like to communicate by email, because different people have different modes that they have a preferred communication like this too.
Absolutely.
So sometimes we tend to have to work that one out, I mean, to say whether it's WhatsApp, email, or actually literally a verbal one. So it's good to gauge that one, because sometimes people will get a bit annoyed by just calling them or just emailing. Or don't read the email because it's verbal, so it's good to have a gauge on that within the conversation, Yeah,
it was okay. It was good old days.
All right, guys, we're about to wrap this up, guys. But just before we do, I just want to give a shout out to Mercedes, the Bishop's wife, who is joining us on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. And to all the other people who are joining us from every other medium, listen, networking has to be built into the psyche of entrepreneurs. It's not an option anymore. It's not something you can decide not to do. You got to do it. It's going to be part of your marketing program. It's going to be part of your psyche. If you are in business, you are going to have to network. And as I always say, networking is it's a long-term relationship. It's not a one-night stand. I'm going to say that again, actually, because I think that's quite a good clue. Networking is a long-term relationship. It's not a one-night stand. So don't expect, because you met somebody yesterday, they're going to sign you up tomorrow. You got to put in the work. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for joining the BB Means Business Show. Huge thank you to my wonderful guest, Delano. Thank you so much for all that you do through Sweet. Mark, thank you so much for being on the show as well. Yes, we had a couple of technical issues, but thankfully we were able to sort them out. Once again, to shout out to Sally and her team who are getting ready for the business fair on Saturday. If you're in South London, or if you're in London at all, you want to get yourself down there. It's going to be really good for your business. Ladies and gentlemen, have a really great week. And go make some money. Don't forget me when you've made your money.
Hey, Bebe, can I leave you with one final thought? Always find a common medium where they want to be contacted, of course, and always remember that people don't care how much you know until you show them how much you care.
There you go. You heard it from D. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Mark, thank you. Say hi to everyone in Ghana for us. God bless everyone. Have a great week.
We're coming to Ghana. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on